You have been copying people since you were born. That's how you learn how to operate within society. And this can lead you down two different paths. The first is the path of the NPC, or the non-player character. If you don't know what an NPC is, it's anyone in a game that is programmed to execute specific things. So it's not an actual player character that requires conscious input, like you aren't controlling the character in the game. It's just someone that you interact with, and they have pre-programmed beliefs or ideas or scripts that they say to you to allow the conscious individual to play the game better. So the NPC, or the non-player character in real life, are the people that are a slave to their programming. They never question their beliefs or the thoughts in their head or just what they're saying. They don't become aware of what they're saying, what they're doing, and what kind of impact it has on their own life and other people's lives. So they don't question their beliefs, and those beliefs are the ones that were projected onto them and that they accepted without a fight. They never seek to change. The default path of going to school, getting a job, and retiring at 65 are the only big goals that they have. They never branch into the unknown, so their life becomes boring, mechanical, and animalistic. They never discover new potentials for their life, and even if they do, that just scares them back into their comfortable hole. And so the second path is the path of the main character. A main character is an individual with a clear vision for the future, self-generated goals to actualize it, and non-negotiable actions they must take on a daily basis. They are aware that the conventional school, career, retirement path leads to the same mediocre lifestyle that you can just observe in 99% of the population. They understand that they must take control of their lives. They understand that they are not entitled to anything. They understand that they must create their own success, whether the odds are for or against them. Now, before we dive in, as you know, Solopreneur Sprint starts on the 15th. So if you want to build your own one-person business from me, a brand advisor in my past who has coached many 6 to 7 figure influencers, creators, I've worked with 5,000 plus one-person businesses. I know my shit. Digital economics price doubles at that time. Both links in the description. If you're interested in business, at least read the landing page, see if it's a fit for you. Join if you feel like it or if you don't. You are a perspective vessel in a subjective reality. Reality is perspective, and you are a perspective vessel that can expand and collect new perspectives for it, like lenses of a camera for how you perceive the world. So spirituality is a lens that is composed of some form of a belief system that shapes how you perceive certain situations. So is Christianity, so are other religious belief systems, so are certain business models and how you perceive business problems, and so are certain relationship ideologies and advice. They're all lenses from which you can view situations from, and they are not meant to become static or a part of you. They are meant to be used and shed, and you are supposed to be a shapeshifter in reality to be able to bend it to your will. Not necessarily bend it to your will, but to be able to be at one with reality rather than allowing your expectations to clash with reality, which is what creates negative emotions inside you. The NPC and the main character move through reality in the way that they do because of their perspective. And your perspective is forged through time through conditioning or programming. Conditioning equals the information you process with your mind repeated over time until those thought processes are automatic. So you think of conditioning for your mind, you think of conditioning for your body. It's repetition to get stronger and more efficient at lifting that specific weight. So the more you go through a certain situation, the more you kind of unconsciously learn how to navigate that situation, right? It becomes more normal to you from what used to be uncomfortable, and then you learn, and eventually your path, the direction you are heading, just becomes more automatic. That's why habit formation is a great thing if it is intentional and in alignment with a specific self-generated goal, not a goal that was assigned to you, like going to school, getting a job, retiring, because then that will set you on a specific direction, and then you live life on autopilot because your programming is set for you to reach that goal. So perspective and identity are very, very closely tied. And Joe Dispenza has a saying, your personality creates your personal reality. So your identity, or your sense of who you are, or your self-image, or your concept of self, they're all synonymous, influences three major things. It influences your perspective or your worldview, it influences how you perceive situations from that perspective, and it influences the choices you make because of both. So your identity and the choices you make are very closely tied. So the NPC perspective is very narrow and closed-minded and lasered on a goal that was projected on them by society. And because of their average Joe identity, they will be pulled to do the things that align with that identity. So they will make similar friends, they'll change their external appearance to fit into whatever kind of clique they feel like they belong to. They consume movies, media, and information that reinforces that identity, all of which narrow their mind through conditioning on specific problems and potentialities that they have access to with their awareness or conscious mind. And so for the NPC, the problems that circulate in the information that they consume involve something like paying the bills or not having enough money to go out and eat or get food, getting a better job, or saving a few bucks here and there for retirement, or getting a girlfriend, or whatever the flavor of the day drama is in the news. Like, oh, are you vaccinated? Are you not vaccinated? Are you this? Are you that? And so the more you're exposed to this information that you willingly choose to go and consume, shapes how you make choices in the world. So if you are not a successful person, it usually is because you haven't fixed the foundation, filtering the negative information that goes into your head, getting rid of it, and replacing it with the information that is conducive to a positive future, and pretty much making success inevitable. The most dangerous threat to society is someone who isn't reliant on it. So from the conditioned perspective of the NPC, they will interpret situations and opportunities in that way. So if someone straight up hands them a business opportunity, it's like, hey, you can do this. Like in my case, it's like, hey, you can start a personal brand, you can talk about your interests, and you can monetize your interests by solving your own problems. Many people, the people like that don't watch these videos and then come to it and they hear that for the first time, they're like, it just goes right through their brain. They don't even understand it. They don't know what's going on. But if it does register in their brain and they sense something that they don't like or that challenges their identity, it threatens their conceptual survival of who they are, then their mind will flood with excuses and defense mechanisms that were programmed into them by the belief systems that they adopted as their own, where it's like, oh, but I feel so much more secure if I just go and I go to these 4 years of college. That's been the plan the entire time. I haven't even thought of anything outside of it. Oh, what about getting a job? I want to get a job at this place and then work there for 40 years and just enjoy life along the 2 hours I have at night to myself. I want to make the most of. And they don't want to break out of that. They don't realize that the magic or the discovery or the zest of life comes from the unknown, from the uncertain, and you going into that, you exposing yourself to chaos and creating clarity from it, right? That's what creativity is, being in a chaotic state, making sense of it, creating order, being okay, calming down, zooming out, gathering the pieces and putting them back together into a tool or resource that you can use to launch yourself into the future. And so when someone encourages an NPC to say improve their health because the benefits are fucking obvious, they attack it with whatever narrative they have going on in their mind right now, where it's like, oh, I can't go to the gym right now, I don't have this, that, and the other. They make all the excuses in the world to fix the foundational problem in their life, or they just completely write it off and adopt another narrative like the fat acceptance stuff or whatever is going on there. It's just all over the place, man. It is your job to become aware of your mental programming and work to reverse it. This is how you become the main character of your own story. And we're going to talk about this more in depth in next Sunday's video. It's called The Art of Self-Architecture. I'm proud of that name. Changing who you are is difficult. It takes intention and effort, and nobody can do it for you. So let's talk about becoming the main character through what I call intelligent imitation, because at the very first sentence of this video was that you have been copying people since you were born, right? So what we need to do is we need to copy, or we need to imitate, because that's how you learn. That's how you learn how to do something. You see someone else do it, you try it, you practice, you get better at it, but you need to do it with a conscious mind, right? You need a filter, you need self-reflection so that you aren't heading in the wrong direction in life. So to begin conditioning your mind for success, you must set new goals for a higher quality of life, immerse yourself in the information that will condition a new perspective, make progress, and notice the positive outcome it has on your life. So start with what matters the most. We keep coming back to this. Your mind, body, spirit, and finances. Or in business, we bring in the one-person business philosophy where mind, body, spirit, finances, right? Solve your own problems. Flip it. Eternal markets in marketing, in business, where you find the most burning profitable problems are health, wealth, relationships, happiness. Same exact thing. So you solve your own problems, You create a solution for yourself. You sell the solution to other people in the form of information or in the form of coaching, freelancing, whatever it may be. You build, stack resources with that very low cost business model that I teach. And then you go on to do whatever you want. If you want to start an e-commerce brand, feel free. If you want to start a software, feel free. If you want to go and open a gym like I plan to do in the future, feel free. You need resources first though, and you need to become high value by fixing the 4 pillars of you. So to illustrate an example of what I mean by identity and perspective being closely linked, we look at a bodybuilder. They are somebody who values fitness, and they will make choices that lead to a higher quality of life because of that, because they value fitness. It's important to them. They care about it. They don't just write it off and adopt something else as to why they can't fix their health. The higher quality of life is baked into the identity because they will eat healthy. They're in pursuit of a goal, right? And so they're able to perceive situations from the lens of that goal. So when a problem comes up where it's like, oh, we're going out to eat junk food, do I stay home or am I able to look at the menu and see if there's healthier food there? So they eat healthier food, they move, they're more active, and a lot of the times they will choose to avoid situations that are detrimental to their progress. And so the same holds true for someone that values building a business. And you have to understand here that valuing something or finding importance in something or being passionate about something doesn't come from not doing it. You have to start. You have to get over the first hump, because then you will find the reason. And when you self-reflect and you realize, oh, this actually made my life better, I want to continue doing this, I care about this now, then you're going to continue doing it. So for someone that values a business, they value providing value to others. And in order to do that, they have to increase their own skill, they have to develop themselves, and they have to have a mind that is attractive and able to actually spark positive behavior change through business. And so the choices they make in alignment with business lead to more energy, so they have higher output, less financial stress because they're making more money, and a deeper satisfaction from intellectual development that comes with like writing or content creation or something like that. Because, well, here's the thing, most people think they should stop trying to copy, imitate, or just like emulate someone else. Impossible, right? And now I've actually talked about this on Twitter recently about people like copying my stuff literally word for word. Like, I'm not being overly dramatic when I say 3 to 5 people a day send me DMs of other people copying my stuff, like even website design, literally ripping my reels. It's like, whatever, you aren't going to make it. It doesn't matter. You're just giving more traffic and more money to me. Thank you. But at the same time, it's like, you have to take ideas, you have to get ideas somewhere, right? You have to be able to take them in, contemplate, throw them into the mix of the chaos in your head, and then come back with something new and distribute that. And so the NPC is not aware. They're unconscious of how they are imitating people, and that goes on to create who they are and what they do in life. But the main character is someone who is conscious or aware of how they are imitating other people and what they are doing with that information. Are they creating with it? Are they doing good with it? And they're able to reflect on their decisions, see what went right or wrong, see if they're heading in the right direction, and correct their path accordingly. Finally, let's talk about step 1 for how to begin this intelligent imitation process. So step 1 is to create a perspective that you can grow into. This is by far one of the most impactful lessons that you can hold in your mind and use to move throughout reality. Think of it like as this expanding and contracting thing, which determines your open-mindedness or your closed-mindedness, right? Open focus or narrow focus, stressful or creative and happy. And when you open your perspective, like the highest perspective you can adopt is that of God or the universe or Teotl or what everything, this, right? And so when you expand either to, my favorite way of thinking about it is you can expand to 2 different things that are the most conducive, right? Right now you can expand your perspective to your ideal self, your ideal future self, or you can expand it to that of the universe. When you attempt and you become conscious of like, okay, I'm facing a problem right now, you zoom out, you open your perspective, and you train your mind to do this so that you can hold a wider perspective for a longer period of time. Because when you're focused on something, a problem, like, oh no, my girlfriend broke up with me, I'm 16 and I don't have any perspective, and so I'm crying in my room. And then you open it up to that of the universe and you realize, oh, okay, in 1,000 years from now, I'm going to be dead. Nobody's going to know who I am. In 1 year from now, I'm not going to care. I'm going to be in a completely different grade. I may even move different state. There are billions of other women on this earth that this 16-year-old could go out and try to find, especially in their entire lifespan. And this is only like in this weird situation. In business, if you lose $100,000, yeah, that's a fucking problem. That sucks. But at the same time, what can you do? Can you make it back? Like, zoom out and think these through yourself. Seriously, today, when you encounter a problem, when you feel stressed or you feel negative or you have a problem, zoom out. First, what would your ideal self do? Or how would they interpret the situation? So let's say 10, 20 years from now, how would you interpret that situation? Second, that of the universe. Just zoom out beyond everything, right? Stop caring and see what happens. And so to help understand or practice this further and grow into the perspective of your ideal self, you want to do it consciously and you want to ask yourself these questions so that you can have like anchors. So what does my ideal day look like? What do I want to do as my life's work? How do I want to impact people's lives? What do I want to look and feel like? What values and habits will I have to adopt to bring those to life? And from there, practice putting on your new perspective as you go about your days. So step 2 of the intelligent imitation process is to choose 3 to 5 mentors that you aspire to be like. You become what you consume, so consume in accordance with who you want to become. So make this process easy by writing down the 3 to 5 names of the people that changed your perspective. What is your favorite book that you recommend to everyone? Write down that author's name. Who is the YouTuber, podcaster, or blogger that you can't stop watching or reading? Or even the social media account where they make you stop and think like, wow, how did they say that so perfectly? I want to articulate myself like that, because that's the thing, right? Nobody else thinks that. Everyone watching this video is thinking of 3 to 5 different people. So the combination and connection of the ideas that you pull from each of these 3 to 5 mentors that help shape who you are is going to be incredibly unique, and that is authentic, because the 3 to 5 people are your choice, and the information that you consciously interpret and pick up and make your own from them is your conscious choice, and nobody can replicate that. To just make this easy, right? Reread the first chapter of your favorite book and see if it changes your perspective again. Step 3 to becoming the main character is to become a mad scientist. The good life is a series of experiments. You can't copy it from someone else. You have to try, fail, and collect the pieces that make your individual life great. The NPC takes what was put in front of them. The main character leans into the trial and error that reflects in nature toward evolution and growth. So as you're immersing yourself in the information that you pick up from your mentors, it is wise to keep the scientific method at the top of your mind to help with trial and error and overcoming that. The first step is to research. You don't mindlessly consume content, you gather it and apply it to your goals. Next is you test. Don't take advice or information as law. Test if it works for your situation. This is called critical thinking. Next is experiment. Don't be dogmatic about one method. Try different diets, business models, and religious ideologies until the truth of each blurs in the middle. Then you discover. So you note patterns that get results in alignment with your goals, and you document. You write down what gets you results. This is the valuable information that you can sell or leverage or just use in your life and help other people with. When you treat your life as a project, it becomes profitable when you turn it into a product. And so a personal brand is just discovering yourself in public and getting paid for the research that you do. And step 4 to becoming the main character is create or be created, because the primary difference between the NPC and the main character is creation. The NPC is created through years of conditioning. The main character creates themselves through years of conscious conditioning. They choose their inputs, and nobody escapes conditioning. It's happening all around you. This video is conditioning you, hopefully in a good way. And so the modern world is create or be created. You have to create yourself or you will be created. You have to create or you will be given something created to give. The choice is yours, literally every millisecond of the day. Enjoy the rest of your week. And just a subtle reminder to subscribe, check out Solopreneur Sprints. That starts the 15th. Digital economics price doubles on the same date. If you want to build a one-person business and turn purpose into profits and productize who you are and sell a product and just do what you enjoy for a living, check it out. Links in the description. Adios.